Yellow! Welcome to the Brain Booster Lounge. In my opinion, the 1990s had some of the best snacks ever created. From drinks, candy, to breakfast items, the 1990s really nailed it with really cool art packaging and the taste that gave everyone a memory they would never forget. Here are some more snacks from the 1990s that you might have found in your lunchbox as a kid, or that you would eat while watching your favorite cartoon. One of the most favorite snacks from the 1990s were the Dunkaroos. The Dunkaroos, created by General Mills, were bite-sized cookies that came with a small tub of frosting to dip them in. These were so popular because it let kids play with their snacks and the icing it came with was good enough to eat on its own. A great lunchtime snack that can still be found today is the Totino's Pizza. A Totino's Pizza as a kid was like a fancy dinner and was quick and easy to make. These days, Totino's pizzas come in a plastic wrap and are more of a rectangle shape. In the 1990s, Totino's Pizza came in a box and were shaped like a circle. Till this day, I swear that Totino's pizzas that were shaped like a circle are much better than the ones we have nowadays, and I wish everyone had a chance to try them before they turned into a rectangle. Another iconic snack from the past is the now discontinued PB Crisps. PB Crisps came in 3 different flavors: chocolate, strawberry, and peanut butter. They all had a graham cookie peanut butter shell that was filled with your favorite flavor. There was a snack on the go for many of us called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Pies. Created by Hostess, the Turtle Pies were fun for any fan of the TV show and were a pastry covered in a green icing that was filled with vanilla pudding. These were a huge hit because Ninja Turtles were extremely popular among kids in the 1990s, and they even came with a free sticker inside. Let's explore some different kinds of bubblegum from the 1990s which many of you cannot find anymore. I'll never forget Ouch bubblegum. It came in these little tin boxes that resembled a Band-Aid box. Made by the Wrigley Jr. Company, the gum came in flavors of grape, watermelon, and strawberry, wrapped to look like a Band-Aid. The Bubble Beeper was also a classic bubblegum that came in the form of an everyday object. Arriving in 1997, the Bubble Beeper resembled a gadget called a pager that was used in the 1990s to receive phone numbers from anyone trying to get a hold of you. The Bubble Beeper even reacted to UV light and had little messages on the bubblegum wrappers you would see in a text message. The Hubba Bubba Bubble Jug was also a bubblegum I'll never forget. It came in a really cool looking little pink jug you could carry around with you and had the consistency of powder with small gum pieces. The best thing about the bubble jug that I remember is that when you eat the powder substance, it did not feel like you're eating bubblegum, but before you knew it, the powder turned into a solid. Then there were the Tongue Splashers bubblegum that were packaged in what resembled a paint can. Tongue Splashers held true to their name by dyeing your tongue whatever color you chewed on. I'll also never forget that gum that Gatorade came out with called the Gator Gum that could be seen at most every gas station. Gator Gum's big motto was that it claimed to quench your thirst and took place of an everyday liquid drink. Being Gatorade gum, you would think that it would quench your thirst, but I remember every time that I tried it, it just had an odd taste and never helped do anything for my thirst at all. Let me introduce you to some of the treasured ice cream types from the 1990s. A special ice cream that always stood out to me was the Ninja Turtles Ice Cream Pops. If you ever were lucky enough to stop the ice cream truck before it drove away, you had the chance to get your hands on one of these. Even though the face of the Ninja Turtles on the ice cream was not always shown right, these were still really fun for everyone to see and eat that was a big fan of the Ninja Turtles. Nickelodeon was a big deal in the 90s, and getting slimed was definitely on the bucket list of many kids. When they released these Nickelodeon green slime ice pops, they were a huge hit. They had the consistency of a regular ice pop but were filled with a green slime that reminded you of the slime on the TV show. I also have to mention Flintstones Push-Ups ice cream. The packaging on these were really fun, and in the 1990s the Flintstones were watched by many. The Flintstones Push-Ups were fun to eat because you got to take your time with them and push up on a little stick whenever you wanted more. Any kid that played baseball in the 1990s knew about the ice cream called the Bubble Play. Also mainly seen on ice cream trucks, the Bubble Play was shaped in a little glove and had a baseball in the middle that was actually a piece of bubble gum you got to chew after finishing the glove. Breakfast was always a memorable part for many kids, and getting a fun meal in the morning was always nice. The dinosaur egg oatmeal was probably one of the most iconic morning treats for anyone in the 1990s. Dinosaur egg oatmeal had little egg shapes that actually hatched into little dinosaurs when you added hot water. Sometimes as a kid you did not want to have breakfast, but this was a snack that you would always be looking forward to when you woke up. Oatmeal swirlers were also a really fun meal in the morning. Basically just instant oatmeal, but came with the strawberry jelly flavored packet that you could squirt into your meal. The jelly packet let us as kids become artists with our food, and even let us play little games like tic-tac-toe. The morning meal of classic cereal and milk was always a must-have at some point in the 1990s. Rice Krispies Treats cereal was a staple in the 1990s, much before the Rice Krispies we have today. The crispy treat was shaped in large clusters and reminded you of eating actual little mini Rice Krispie treats. Another classic item to have in the morning was the Sprinkle Spangle cereal that had been discontinued in 1994. They had a very memorable logo on the box for anyone who saw it, and were a very simple cereal consisting of basic corn puffs covered in sprinkles. Pop-Tarts were a big hit in the 1990s, and so was the cereal called Pop-Tarts Crunch. Shaped as mini Pop-Tarts filled with either brown sugar or strawberry, this cereal let kids in the 90s have their own toaster snack in a miniature form dunked in milk. As a child, being outside and then coming in for a cold beverage was the perfect way to end the day. TANG. Either you loved it or you hated it. TANG was that orange powder your mom mixed with water to give you that orange flavored taste. Aside from TANG, a drink that most everyone did love was the Squeeze-It. I can remember that the Squeeze-It was always a drink someone brought to baseball or soccer practice for the team. Drinking them was made even more enjoyable by squishing them, and the plastic topper was a satisfying thing to rip off. The Hi-C Ecto Cooler was also a really good beverage to have around. A small little juice box with Slimer from the Ghostbusters on the front were great to have on the go and claimed to have 100% vitamin C. On the sweeter side of drinks was the old school Nesquik. I can remember the 1990s Nesquik always being in this huge tub in the form of a powder. Mixing your own Nesquik was always fun, and you got to control how much chocolate or strawberry you actually wanted. If you were looking for a soda in the 1990s, you probably would have come across Surge. Surge was that soda you wanted to like but really didn't, and it just kinda looked cool. It did not last long but made many reappearances, then finally was discontinued in 2003. The candy of the 1990s showcased some of the most memorable artwork, and they are now extremely difficult for us to find today. Everyone has heard of Laffy Taffy, but in the 1990s there was one called Laffy Taffy Sparkled Cherry. You could find this thing all over the place and was mainly seen in cherry flavor with little red and blue sprinkles on it. Another popular candy were the Melody Pops. The Melody Pops were little strawberry flavored lollipops that were shaped like a whistle. They actually even played the tune of the whistle when you blew into it. And we can't leave out the Shark Bite Gummies. A classic gummy from the 1990s, these were extremely popular. It could also be found in many children's lunches, and it was always a treat to find the White Shark Gummies. A different gummy that was a staple in the 1990s was the String Thing. Getting discontinued in the mid-2000s, the String Thing came on a flat little plastic tray in different designs. The fun of peeling the String Thing as you ate it was matched by an incredible gummy taste. One of the classic movie candies of the 1990s were the Butterfinger BBs. These were basically little Butterfingers in a ball form that came in an M&M style package and were often featured with The Simpsons. The Butterfinger BBs did not last too long and were discontinued in 2006, but are still very memorable. The 1990s had snacks that will be remembered forever, from their taste all the way to their packaging. People today still try to recreate or get their hands on any classic 1990s snack item that has been discontinued. Whether you were around in the 1990s to try these snacks, or you have a favorite snack from your childhood, let me know about them in the comments. Thanks again so much for watching the Brain Booster Lounge. If you enjoyed these 90s snacks, please subscribe. I'll be dropping new content for you every week.